Hello, and welcome to our talk on aromatherapy and how custom blends can make a difference in helping you to reach your goals. I am Dawn Fleming, and I'm a holistic health practitioner. I'm an author, and I'm an energy expert. And today I have the privilege of interviewing Kerry Blank. So let me tell you about Kerry. She is a certified aromatherapist. She's a Usui and Karuna Reiki master and a skincare and massage therapist. And she has more than 20 years of experience. Kerry is the owner of Catalina Aromatherapy, which is based in Tucson, Arizona. Kerry teaches aromatherapy classes and workshops, and she formulates custom blends and offers therapeutic aromatherapy treatments and consultations. She combines her therapeutic aromatherapy with her services, and these services that she has includes Reiki, Shiatsu, natural skin care, Ayurvedic treatments, craniosacral therapy, and restorative body work. And I just want to say that my experience with Kerry's aromatherapy blends has just been wonderful. She just listens to what you're saying that your goals are, and she's able, with all her expertise, to put a blend together of high quality essential oils. And for me, they've always assisted me in reaching my goals. So Kerry, welcome.
Thank you, Dawn. That was such a nice introduction. It's great to be here with you.
Great. I've got some questions for you today. Are you ready?
Bring them on. Yes,
okay.
I'm ready.
So can you tell us about your service offering? What is an aromatherapy consultation?
Yes. An aromatherapy consultation is an opportunity for you to sit down with a professionally trained aromatherapist and have a custom blend or self-care program created that's really customized for you and what your individual goals and your individual issues and conditions are.
So that is really nice because you've done that for me, and I know how nice that is. So what is therapeutic aromatherapy?
Yeah, that's really, there's a big difference in aromatherapy that we're used to hearing about or that you might see in the health food store or, Bed Bath & Beyond's products versus therapeutic aromatherapy, which is what I practice. So therapeutic aromatherapy is really using, first of all, only the natural plant extracts, no synthetics. Second of all, in my case, organic products or wild crafted products, really high quality essential oils that you're using. And you're using different essential oils because of their specific benefits that they have. So some of them have different healing properties for the skin, or they may help with different emotional issues. They may help with our state of mind. You can really customize them for all different purposes. And the whole art of bringing them all together is what therapeutic aromatherapy is all about.
And it is an artwork, and you want to go to someone that has a lot of depth of knowledge and experience in the field. And from being around you for so many years, I've just learned so much, and the importance of getting the true essential oil versus synthetic and all of that. So when I come to you for aromatherapy consultation, what is it that you do?
So what I do when you come to me for a consultation, you're going to come in and we're going to start by doing an intake. So I'm going to be gathering information about you. So I want to know, what are your goals? What are your intentions? What do you want to accomplish with your aromatherapy blend? people come from all different points of view and have all different reasons for wanting to use aromatherapy to support their health. So it might be something on a more physical level, or it may be something that also has an emotional aspect to it too, or self-development or inner work aspect to it. So we're gonna gather information and we're gonna have a discussion first. So I also want to check, I'm going to ask you some questions about your health history, because there are some cautions and some contraindications when you're working with essential oils that are really important to know too. So I'm going to want to know a little bit about your health history, just to make sure that the ones I'm recommending for you are the best for you and are safe for you. So once we do that, then we're talking about your specific goals. And I also do Reiki and energy work, and I do a lot of, I'm trained in Shiatsu. So what comes to play in that is 5-element theory. So I work a lot with, as you're talking to me, I'm noticing what elements are coming into play too. So I'm thinking about looking at your situation holistically, and I'm looking at it from a TCM point of view, traditional Chinese medicine, which looks at the 5 elements and which ones are needed to bring more balance in your life. So that ties into the meridian system and our energy system too. So bringing all of that information together. So not only am I looking at the physical properties of the oils and maybe the medicinal properties of them, like if you have sinus issues, I'm going to think about rosemary and eucalyptus probably right away. And then based on what other things are going on in your body, maybe you're telling me you're also having issues with some inflammation, or joint pain, so then that's going to come. I'm thinking of all these different oils of which ones are good for what you're talking about. And then in that way, I sort of filter out, as we're discussing, which ones are the best match most of the things you're wanting to focus on across the board. And then the other beautiful thing that comes into play is sometimes different oils are good for working on your energy field. Some of them have different effects. Yeah, calming or moving the energy in different ways. And that's really also a little bit more of I would say a Reiki or Chinese medicine way of looking at it. So if someone has an area of what they would say is stagnation, or energy that's stuck, so that can show up as a tight muscle, or it can show up as a mental emotional situation, right? Like I just feel stuck in this situation and I don't feel like I can move forward for some reason. So, you can use aromatherapy and essential oil blends to help support that too. So bringing all of these things into the mix is what I do. So based on our discussion, I'm learning all of these things about you, and I'm asking more questions, based on all these different things. I'm thinking of how we can make a blend to support all the parts of you, bringing all of the parts back into alignment. Once we do that, that's my most fun part, right? Because I'm just creating and formulating and thinking of all these wonderful, I often will have you smell the oils that I've gotten a hit on or I've chosen for you, right? Yeah. And I want to make sure that you like them, because I think that, there's sometimes, yes, there are oils that have therapeutic properties, whether you like the smell of them or not. But in the work that I do, there's so many oils to choose from that could have a positive action for you. Why not choose some that smell wonderful and give you, make you feel wonderful while you're using it? You're going to use it that way too. So I'll have you smell them. while you're smelling and inhaling the oils, I'm also noticing what is that aroma doing to your energy field? What effect is it having on your energy field? So, is it grounding you? Is it uplifting? And literally you can feel the energy moving up. Is it uplifting? Is it centering? And or does it not feel right? Maybe. Okay, let's forget that one and move on. So that whole selection process is very there is definitely an art to it, and it flows in the moment for each person. Once we choose which oils are good for you, then I'm going to bring it together by saying, well, which ones do we want to put in a blend together? And how are you going to use them? Which ones marry better with each other? And then what are the best application methods based on your lifestyle and your goal, why you're using it? So for example, if you did have something for sinus issues, we would want to do something that was an inhalation. So we would want to make a personal inhaler for you, a little aromatic stick to inhale. A massage blend may not be the best, application tool for sinus issues, unless you did it just in that area. So usually I'll make one custom blended product for you right then. Your appointment includes one custom blended product. But then I'm also going to give you a list of recommendations, including other oils that you may like to use to support your self-care at home. So aside from that, you're also going to get, I email everyone a consultation report. So you're going to get so much information. You're never going to be able to remember all of it. And I want you to really relax and enjoy the consultation. I don't want you to take a lot of notes while you have to take a lot of notes unless you want to. So I email you a report that has what's in your blend, recommendations for how to apply it, directions on how to use it. And then I'm also going to email you, include in there any other essential oils that came up that would be good for you to use. And also some safety information, just general good for everyone to have, essential oil safety information. So it's really comprehensive.
It is very comprehensive. And I just love your approach of asking the in-depth questions, because if someone does have health issues, there may be something that lowers their blood pressure or raises their blood pressure. And it's just good to have that comprehensive picture so that you're giving them, trying to pinpoint exactly what they need to have the best effect. That is really, really nice. It sounds like sometimes it's more comprehensive than when you go to a doctor's office and they talk to you for 2 minutes and write a prescription.
Well, yes, and I will put the disclaimer out there that I do not, I am not a medical doctor. I do not diagnose or prescribe. Definitely more comprehensive. Usually if you go to any holistic healthcare provider, your intake and discussion is going to be much more comprehensive than it would be with a doctor, because we're able to sit down and have the time to do that. So yes, although I will say, as far as, medical conditions, my goal is to support your health. And I would say also a lot of my clients, and we'll probably talk more about this in a minute, a lot of them do have medical issues that they're working with. And this blends really well together with their conventional medical treatment that they're going through. It's very supportive.
And that's another point of wanting to do that comprehensive intake, to find out if they are having any treatments for anything else.
Absolutely.
That is so important. That is so great. So what is your background and training in aromatherapy? And I also want to add the Chinese medicine, because that's a whole area of study as well.
It is. It was like learning another language for me when I studied that. So my background in aromatherapy started, I got into it in the early 90s. I am not going to count at the moment how many years that is, but it's been, it's been a little while. So I come from the day spa industry. I worked and owned a day spa that was my career. I was skincare and massage therapist. I loved doing body treatments, and I just loved mixing and blending and making the formulas. And so that was my first introduction to aromatherapy, was in that world. And I just really dove into natural ingredients, making your own products, which herbs were great for the skin, making herbal infusions, making your own masks. And then when I started using aromatherapy with massages and skincare formulas, they were so effective. So of course I started because they smelled heavenly, and you become enchanted with these, beautiful aromatics. But then my clients were getting such amazing results. And I was finding, for example, when I would blend the aromatherapy with a body work session or energy work session, my clients would relax so much faster when I used the aromatherapy versus when I didn't. It was amazing. And that may seem like something small, but it's not. A lot of our issues stem from overload of stress and tension in the body. So when you can have a shortcut to quickly relaxing so that the person can receive that healing work more deeply, that's a big deal. Anyway, so that really just captured my attention and my love. And then I've gotten the honor of training with some amazing teachers. So one of the first people that got me into aromatherapy and taught me a lot was Teresa Cangelosi. And she is the owner of So Botanicals in Baltimore, Maryland. She has, she had the most beautiful little aromatherapy shop when I first got into it. She still does. It's a different location now, but such good memories and a lot of gratitude to Teresa, because she was an amazing introduction, an amazing teacher, and very sharing. And then I ended up taking training with Pacific Institute of Aromatherapy, which is owned by Kurt Schnabelt. He's a well-known author and educator in the field. I took training with Andrea Bouget from AromaHead, and Jade Schutz and Kathy Skipper from School of Aromatic Studies. For TCM, there was some TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and aromatherapy training together, like how to use aromatherapy specifically with those principles, with Jeffrey Yuen and David Crow from Floricopia. So those are some of my favorites. I'm like an education junkie. I love learning and taking seminars and learning. So I'll leave it at that. Those are some of my most favorites. And the shiatsu I took at Baltimore School of Massage. So that's where I learned a lot of the theory of traditional Chinese medicine and Zen shiatsu, 5-element theory. And what I am most drawn to that teaching is working with the meridians and the energy, the energy pathways through the body. And of course I do Reiki, so that blends perfectly with that. And then working with the elements, the balance of the elements in our body, mind, spirit. So that's a really powerful tool to bring in together too.
Great. Wow. You've learned from some of the masters in the field. So
I have.
Can you give us an example of how your therapeutic blends have made a difference for some of your clients?
Yes. Okay, so specific examples. I see a lot of people that come for anxiety issues. Anxiety and insomnia always seems to go hand in hand with that, because it turns into trouble. The anxiety or the mind going and going turns into trouble sleeping at night. So I've done lots of different blends for anxiety. And it's interesting how, even though you may have one issue, anxiety, your blend for 3 different clients may be three completely different formulas, because you're going to take into consideration all of the other elements having to do with that person, and where are they now, what else are they dealing with, on and on. So specifically, one that I really loved, I had a client who, this was a husband and wife, and they had higher stress because they were going through moving and downsizing.
Ooh,
So,
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
going through all your stuff. Yeah. So that's a little high stress. And the husband was already a little bit more an anxious, tendency to be anxious. So I did a blend for both of them for helping reduce anxiety and helping with insomnia. He was taking half a sleeping pill each night, and he said that he really did not want to continue because he knew that it would quickly build a tolerance and he'd have to go up to 1 full pill, and that would just keep happening. So he wanted natural alternatives. So I made him a sleep spray, and some of the main ingredients was petitgrain, which is citrus leaves, comes from the leaf of the citrus, and marjoram, which has sedative properties, and mandarin, which is also very calming. I had lavender in his too, and a couple of other little additions in there too. So I checked in with him a couple of days later, and I said, how did it work? And he said, and one of the side effects he didn't like about the sleeping pills was that it would give him nightmares when he was trying to come off of them.
Ooh.
Really just crazy. And he said, we both had really good dreams. I think he said he dreamed he was surfing or something. So they used that sleep spray, both of them, because it was for both of them, because they both got the effects of it at night. They used that each night on their pillows before they went to bed.
Wow.
And he noticed a big difference in it, helping to reduce his stress level, helping him sleep better during that stressful period. So a lot of good results with the insomnia and anxiety. I had another one where this one I would say was more like a broken heart.
Oh.
Someone that had a broken heart. So this is more of an emotional. And she had 2 things she was really dealing with at the same time. One was betrayal, a broken heart. And then the other was wanting to strengthen her inner conviction, being able to stand on your own and,
Courage.
Yes. Yeah. So broken heart, but then stepping out with this feeling of courage, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I made her a spritzer. It was actually funny because I did her intake, and then I said, let me blend this product for you. Come back in a couple of days and I'll have it ready. But in the meantime, I'm going to give you this mister that just had pure rose in it.
Wow.
Damascus rose, a spritzer. And because now she was having some nervous system effects. Like when she would feel really stressed about this, she would physically shake. So it was really affecting her nervous system deeply. And rose heals the heart, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
beautiful.
the master heart healer. Yeah. So I just told her, spray that whenever, wherever you need it. Whenever you feel, at work especially was where she was feeling it. I think because that was where maybe sometimes when we get quiet, we're in a situation, we get quiet enough that we're
Yes.
listening, we hear that unhappiness. So anyway, she sent me a message a week later and said, it worked. Your rose spray worked. I don't even need the other blend.
Wow.
So she said well, for her, it helped her. She said, decision was made. I'm moving on from this situation. Just like she said, your rose spray worked. I'm moving on. I said, well, I think it was a little more than the rose spray, but okay, that helped. But it helps take the edge. It helped take the edge off. It softens.
Well, it softened it so that she could hear that true voice that she needed to hear instead of the anxiety.
Yes. So that was really a beautiful story, I thought. I chuckled at her message, it worked. I'm moving. But, other ones, I've also done I've done a lot of blends for skincare because I do facials. So, acne, or whether it's firming or increasing the circulation, reducing redness, all of those essential oils really have an affinity for the skin. So they work great with skincare. Also massage therapy, of course, and making body oils for people to use after the bath or as part of their self-care routine. I also have a lot of clients that have digestive issues. And so I'll do blends where I will have them apply them as part of their self-care routine, doing abdominal massage on themselves, just to help with the flow through the digestion system, and putting the essential oils on topically on the abdomen that way. So that's that's helping them on several levels. It's the essential oils and in the blend are getting absorbed in through the skin, and then they're also through inhalation. They're getting them through inhalation too. Yeah. So those are some of the main examples, to give you an idea.
And I think you and I were talking once about someone that you knew that had a MRSA infection.
Yeah.
And you put a blend together for them and it cleared up like that?
It did. He it took a little longer than that, but it cleared up compared to the treatment that he had undergone so far. It cleared up like that. So I've had a couple of clients who have had problems with MRSA, and there's actually a reference book that I have. Maggie Tisserand wrote a book on aromatherapy versus MRSA, and it's a great resource for anyone who needs to learn more about that too. But I made a blend of anti-infectious oils to apply to the skin, ones that were safe for the skin. So when you have MRSA, and in his case, it had gotten, it was on the side of the face, and it had swollen to such a point to be like a size of an orange. I mean, that's really, really painful. And so, of course, he was having medical treatment and having very strong antibiotics for it, and wasn't getting a great response. So he ended up having it drained, and then I sent him a blend to apply topically. So between having it drained and putting the blend on topically, it cleared up very, very quickly after that. So he thought that the essential oils really supported that healing process and made it happen a lot faster.
Wow. That is beautiful, because, there's a lot of these infections or bacterial infections that are resisting antibiotics now. Mm-hmm. And it's good to have other resources if it's needed. So I just love aromatherapy can make a difference.
Yeah, it is very good to have that. Yes.
So you've given us a lot of really great information. And I know For myself, you helped me with a sleep blend.
Mm-hmm.
And you've given me other blends that have supported my spiritual path in opening up or expanding my energy so that I can go deeper. And I've just loved the feel and the smell of all the blends that I've received from you. And so I want you to tell us how someone can get in touch with you to schedule an appointment.
Yeah. You can go on to my website, which is CatalinaAromatherapy.com. It's CATALINA aromatherapy.com. And all of my information is right on there. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I know you do in person as well as you do consultations over the phone as well. So you don't have to live in Tucson or Oro Valley to have a consultation. They can give you a call as well after visiting your website.
Yes, that's true. I do consultations over the phone too, and we just I can walk you through. We just set it up a little bit differently and communicate through phone, email, and snail mail too. So yeah.
Excellent. So thank you, Kerry, so much for explaining what therapeutic aromatherapy is, because a lot of people just feel like aromatherapy is good smells, and it's just so much more than that. And there's just such a rich history of it being used all along from ancient times, and now it's having its renaissance, coming back into the forefront of really helping issues that people are having. So
Absolutely is. Dawn, thanks so much for interviewing me today.
you're welcome. Thank you.